Yeah, man. Make sure I'm in shot and that.
Yeah, who's kicking off? Who's like starting?
Me or you?
You today. I'll let you take it away, brother.
Welcome back to the Cactus Podcast. Back again with another one, but a special one this time. Not just a normal panel. We've got a guest to my right. We've got Jordan Fagbola. Thank you for coming on.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
And across from me, obviously, we got Jay.
Broadest shoulders in non-league. You know how the script is, and I'm glad to have this guest on because it's been a long time. We've been talking on the phone and that, just catching jokes and that, but finally he's hearing it. So now I'm glad to have you on in it.
Nah, thank you for having me, man. Thank you for. No, you guys have got a good platform, man. Keep it up, keep pushing it, and thank yous for the shout out. I saw it.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Oh, that's good, man.
Thank you. What you been up to though, anyway? How you been?
Working. Now that it's off, no playing, working, looking after the little one, waiting for the season to come back.
Oh, same. Like, it's mad, you know, because how long has it been since me and you have been playing together and that?
A year, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like, playing with Jordan is just like a dream, man. Like, literally, it just tells me where I need to be and that. So it's easy work, light work, man. Football's always a madness, isn't it?
People got interfered on it. So
yeah.
we say less.
Well, on the football side of things, how did you actually get into the sport? Like, was it a thing you always wanted to do, or was it just over time you just graduated to like the...
Nah, I didn't even want to play football. Growing up, I wanted to sprint. My brother does track and field, so I wanted to be a sprinter. Then at 11, when my mum was like, when you go to high school, you can decide what you're doing properly. Like, now that you're in primary school, you just do whatever. Come to 11, and my cousin was starting up a team. So he's like, obviously, I used to play with him in the garden and that. And his dad was starting the team, so why don't you come down and see if you like it? At Fletcher Moss, come down, enjoyed it, was pretty good at it at the age. So I was like, alright, stick with this for a bit and see where it goes, then just never look back.
Right. So how was it like, so Fletcher Moss, what happened from there? How did you get into that club?
Went to Fletcher Moss, so played there from 11 and then started playing for Manchester Schoolboys at 14, year 9. Started there, then we went to the Umbro tournament in the summer. In the Umbro tournament, then I got picked up by Rochdale, so they brought me in on a 6-week. Ended up signing, I think, after the first game. So then I was there from 14 till 18.
So you see, when you were Manchester Schoolboys, is that the year that met Danny Welbeck at school?
Nah, Danny Welbeck's like 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
3
okay,
years
right.
older than me.
I was going to say, because obviously he funded the kit and that stuff at Trinity.
Yeah, he'd just left.
Okay.
So we would have been like a first year scholar that year when I started.
Okay. Yeah, man.
All right. So from Fletcher Moss to Rochdale, what age was it from Fletcher Moss to Rochdale? When did that move happen?
14.
That transition? 14.
Yeah.
And you're from Rochdale till 14 to...
18. So did my scholar there and got released at the end of the scholar.
Okay. What scholar was it? 2-year contract, I'm guessing?
2 year, yeah.
2 year.
How was that for you to take, like, going into the transition from like Fletcher Moss to like Rochdale? Like, what was the football like?
It was mad when I went there. So I've gone there the first session, right? Obviously, you got to imagine it's like, 40-minute drive. Gone up with my mum. Get to training, people are on the pitch already, so I'm thinking, not used to this. Let's come from Sunday League, do whatever. So they're doing this passing drill. This guy misplaces the pass. No one says nothing to him. He just dropped down, started doing press-ups.
Nah.
So I'm thinking,
nah, standards are very high.
Is that what they're on? Like,
Yeah.
This is mad. So carried on doing it anyway. So this guy just keeps misplacing the pass, keeps doing press-ups, and I'm thinking, I don't know if it's just him or like if that's what the coaches are on. So I'm kind of, now I've gone there and then I was like, I'm a bit nervous now, like what's going on? But then football's football, and you kind of just get into it, and the session flowed. And then after that, I think that was a Tuesday, trained on a Thursday, played on a Saturday. And at first I'd gone there and I was more looking to like the players that was there. What are they doing? Like, what do I need to be doing? Then after about 10-15 minutes, I had to play my own game. Started playing, and after the game they pulled me and they said, look, we want to sign you straight away. So it all worked out up to that point.
Nah, class that.
Standard. So from in actual 11-a-side games that you would be playing, what's the difference from academy setup at Rochdale to Fletcher Moss or Sunday League? For those that don't know, obviously.
Probably the standard of players is a little bit higher. Obviously, Rochdale is like at the bottom level of what the academies are. So you don't play like United and City and all them, playing like Bradford, Wigan were in there, I think Blackpool, those type of teams. But for me, the biggest change was we used to play a back three at Fletcher Moss, which was uncommon at the time. You're talking like 2008, 2009. We play a back three and I play on the left of it as a right footer.
Okay.
So I'd always see the game a little bit differently to like people that are grown up just playing 4-4-2. So then we went in and we kind of playing 4-4-2. So it took a little bit of adjustment to be like, right, now I'm back on the opposite side of the pitch, playing in a different formation. But just a bit more like structure to the game, and they want you to do different things. Whereas Sunday League, it's a bit more enjoyment and going out and working hard. There it was like, right, we've got a bit of a pattern to our play. We want to kind of exploit this. We're working on certain things to try and develop you in terms of going through the club and then going into the first team.
Yeah, so what like gave you the edge, like in terms of, because obviously I know you on a personal level now, and I know like what you bring on the pitch, like your presence and like your leadership. Was that something that ingrained at that club, or did it happen like later on?
I think I've always been a leader like by example, but vocally that's come on as my career's gone. As I've learned the game and I've learned where people need to be and what people should be doing, I've started to voice it more. But
Yeah.
I've always been, like my attitude's always been there, my work rate, so that's always kind of put me on a certain level. But then going into Rochdale was just athleticism. Like they just didn't have any physicality, and I was, at 14, I was probably already 5'10", 5'9", 5'10", a decent size. By the time I was 16, I was 6'2", and a reasonable weight. Probably like a first teamer's size as a year 11. So it just stood out straight away. No, like going to the games and I was thinking, I'm going to dominate here just purely off size alone. So then it was progressing me through the levels a lot quicker.
Did you always start as a centre back?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
no,
I started Sunday League, my first 4 games, I played 2 at centre back and 2 at centre forward. Scored a hat-trick and 2.
What?
I scored a hat-trick as a centre forward, and I scored 2 from centre back in open play, just running forward. Then it was like, you could play either, but we had decent strikers. We didn't have good defenders.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll play at the back, and then I just ended up staying there.
Oh, mad. Because like in regards to me, I think I started at centre mid.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you
time
did.
ago I started.
Yeah.
I was like, I had the engine on me back then times. Now it's kind of different, but bloody, my teacher made me a fullback, because that's when I went to Manny Boys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I got told to play there because obviously we had so much talent playing in centre midfield, like Charles Voss, Damani lives here, loads of players like playing.
Too much.
So then obviously I got played there, but I started loving it because obviously my cousin was playing just ahead of me, and then we just had like a little family link up, just cooking anyone that came on the family side, and then we had like Zeke and other man on the right back, so it was class, because like they changed my position and I just stuck there ever since, really. But that's a bit about me, even though it's about Jordan.
You learn more about the game now. I think when you change positions, you learn more about. So you go into a fullback from centre mid, it will improve your game. Like, I used to do this in centre mid. I know what a centre mid wants now. So as a fullback, I know what type of pass he wants. I know what his movements are going to be. Whereas when you play just one position your whole career, you're kind of blinded to certain other things because you might have experienced it firsthand.
That knowledge there, was that just over time that you learnt stuff, or was it not you just understood the game from a young age and it just adapted you? Like,
I think a bit of both, because I didn't watch football loads compared to like these kids that are obsessed with football. I've been watching football from the like 5. I watched it, but I wasn't like up to date with it as much as everyone else. But I watched a lot of sports, watched a range of sports, so I understood like athleticism, understood body positioning and different things like that, which I didn't know at the time, but now looking back I can understand why I was doing certain things a certain way. But then I think it's just the way that I see the game, because I've always been at the back. I see the patterns a lot more than most other players. You'll find it similar because you're a goalkeeper, but midfielders and onwards, they only see a certain section of the game, where I see a lot of it. And playing a mixture of back 3 and back 4, you notice the differences straight away. So having that exposure at an early age, like I know how to flip between playing this system to this system, playing with this player to playing with that player, coming up against different formations and playing in different ones as well.
makes sense. So from, obviously you're a centre back, so over time I'm guessing you've always been captain where you've been playing, or one of the top leaders in the...
I've always been one of the leaders. I've not always had the armband. So the first year I had the armband officially was that first year at Hyde with you. Before that I'd worn the armband, but It was more like captain's not playing or captain's injured. So it's something that kind of developed in my career.
So how did that, from your position at centre-back, how do you know where players should be? Say the right wing is in a mad position. You can see over there, obviously, you can see the full pitch. How do you know where man should be, and how do you dictate that, like the way you do?
I think a lot of it's from coaching. So obviously paying attention in the sessions, not just to where I should be, but where everyone else should be. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to not concede goals. So the more solid that the team can be and the better the formation is, going to work better for me, but it's going to work better for everyone else. So figuring out, this is what it looks like in training if I need him here because of this. Or the game starts to repeat itself. When you play the game for long enough, certain patterns kind of repeat. So you understand, like, this has happened 4 times and we defended it this way, it didn't work. We defended it 3 times this way and it's worked, so that's what it needs to kind of look like. Then kind of doing stuff like that and figuring out, like, right, if he's over here and I know that I'm looking this way, but if someone running off my back shoulder, I need him to be here, then he's coming, I need him to be here. That means he needs some help from him. Just doing it as early as possible to save everyone's legs and save everyone doing a lot of work.
Like, for me, hearing you like touch on certain stuff, like I feel like your knowledge comes from like you watching like other sports, and it helps you well because when you've talked to myself or Thierry or whoever, like your analogy is always like basketball or like a different sport, and I feel like that helps massively, and I don't know where that's come from. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So could you touch on like where?
I think, to be fair, just watching other sports, but like watching them and interested in why certain things are happening. So I'm not, like, if I'm watching basketball, I'm watching it, but I'm not just watching it for like a highlight. I'm watching it of, right, if he's got him in this certain movement, how come he's managing, this smaller player is managing to overpower him by doing this? Or moving his body this certain way, how does he defend it? So watch a lot of like basketball and a lot of NFL for defending set pieces. Because like, you've got a lot of crossover, you've got a lot of people kind of trying to block. How do they defend it in other sports where there's a little bit less contact, but still manage to defend well? And how can you translate that to football where it's like, right, I can go around the blocker this way, and then I can get contact, which they can't do. Or in the NFL, it's like, right, they're going to come up with this sort of lineup, and it's a set piece. He's going to go here to distract someone to do something else. What does that look like? And
See what I'm saying? That's
how
different.
you can kind of go with it that way.
You know? That's a good question, bruv.
Nah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, bro, like, that's a mad thing. People don't look at like football in that light. Do you know what I mean? Not a lot, but I respect that
You
stuff.
see football as black and white, innit?
Yeah, man. And it's more, there's like more to it.
Yeah, the strategical side of things, people don't seem to
Do you know what I mean?
to grasp onto.
Once I did in the post and that little shimmy. Do you know
You've seen me run it. You've seen me run it from our set pieces. We got that year with Brad. He had 8 goals. 7 of them were for the exact same set piece that I designed for him. I said, look, you're good at heading the ball. If we come from this side, you're better at doing it than me. But I'm better at getting my body in a position where you're going to have a little bit of space. So it's like, if we're together like this and you're on my right shoulder, I know that as soon as I take a step left, he's going to come with me. As long as you're going at enough speed, the person not going to have enough time to jump out and mark you, you're going to be over the top of him.
Yeah,
as long as the ball's in a decent position, you've got a free chance.
Yeah.
He scored 7 goals off it.
Nah,
Probably could have had more.
100%. If I could cross a ball properly as well. But I could throw it on his head anyway on a dive. So
not wrong.
But explain like what happened like after Rochdale. What happened in your career? Where did you go?
So Rochdale from 14, so playing under 15s, went through that, played 16s, then end of under 15, so going into year 11, played for the youth team. So I was playing for the under 18s as a 15.
At where?
At Rochdale.
At Rochdale,
But
yeah.
as an under 15, I was playing for the 18s. So then progressed into my 16s. They gave me a scholar in January, I think. It was pretty late. In my scholar, went on to that. First year was as normal, kind of in and out of the team. I was playing full-back and centre-half. So some I was playing right-back, some I was playing centre-half. Then I broke my wrist in March, finished my season. So it was like, we're on a good run. I think I played probably like 8-9 on the bounce. Then broke my wrist.
Yeah.
Then out of it. Season finished. So then after that, went back in my second year, and it was like, obviously, you know, you got to try and progress to the first team. If you're not, then there's no point you being there. You're going to get released. I already had the size. So leaving school, I was 6'2". I'm 6'3" now, so I've grown an inch in height since. But I was 87 kilos, so I was probably
16.
Yeah, wait, 16, 87. Bloody hell.
This is the day I left school, so when you do your testing, obviously. So
I'm nothing in that now. Go on.
I go to the club. Obviously, doing your testing. So I finish my last GCSE exam, go straight to the club. Started my scholar that day. Get there, you do your testing and that. So height, weight, blah blah. So they're like, right. In terms of the club as a whole, including the first team, I think there was probably 3 players that weighed more, had more size. So it's like, really, I'm of a first team physicality already straight away. Gone through first year, going to second year, and it's like, I got to try and break into this first team as soon as possible. They had a new gaffer, Steve Eyre, come from City's 21s. Needed a defender. I think someone was injured the second day of pre-season. So youth team manager was away, 16s manager was taking it, and me and him always got on. So he's obviously the one that signed me. He said, right, we need a defender. Go and see what you can do. Gone and trained with him. Spent whole pre-season with him. Went to Spain on pre-season trip. Was in and out of the pre-season games with him. Then I think I was on the bench the first 3 games of the season. So I think we played Sheff Wednesday away at Hillsborough, Huddersfield at home, and someone else. So they come to like October, November, and he said, right, you're going to make your debut in a couple of weeks in Johnston Paint Trophy.
Okay.
So I'm like, right, sweet. Gassed, getting excited. The next week he gets sacked. So I'm like, yeah, sick. So my youth team manager takes the job, and me and him at the time, we didn't really see eye to eye.
Chalk and cheese.
It's like, he expected more of me at the time than I was able to give. Like, I think he thought I should be something different than what I was, because he's saying, you need to be more aggressive, or you need to be this type of way. I'm saying, but what you're not understanding is I'm of a first team physicality playing in the youth team. I can't be aggressive, because anytime I touch someone, it's a foul. So I've got to play a certain way because of the game and the level that I'm at. So because I wasn't getting any first team minutes, I wasn't getting any youth team minutes because I'm on the bench or I'm in the squad, I'm not playing any. So I didn't play for like 3-4 months. Asked to go out on loan, didn't send me out on loan. He gets the job for 5-6 games, they put him back down, then we get another manager. These times they're about to get relegated. So he's like, I can't play any kids, we're in a relegation zone. Fair enough. They come to your meeting and he's like, right, not seen enough of you, we're going to let you go.
No.
So I was like, it is what it is. That kind of, did I get released in the April? Yeah, it must have been April time, whenever the season finished. But I was like, from the January, I knew what was going to happen. So it's like, I'm prepared for it mentally. I just got to decide what I'm going to do next.
No, that's mad, you know.
That's what people don't understand about like youth team football. Like, it can just end in, whenever they say you're gone, you're gone. Like, there's no like come back from that club.
But another thing, like I said then, like he, none of that.
That's what you call professionality over here.
None of that. Sorry about that. People trying to get my attention and that. Sorry about that. But he was already prepared for it in like Jan. Like you were saying, like you were mentally prepared. Like not Pete. Like I know when I got told my first no, I knew it was tough for me to take because I thought like football's be all and end all, and like it's something I'm chasing. But like I felt like your maturity, like you were already contemplating like what can I do, where can I go? Because I know the situation already. I know where the team's at. Like my thinking during my time at Oldham, I don't think I had like that type of mindset. Where did that come from?
I think I've just always been like that. I've got an older brother, so my brother's 12 years older than me, so I've kind of grown up learning from what he does and learning from his mistakes and his successes. But just like my family life has always been, my mum and my dad and my stepdad have been like, no, stuff's going to happen in your life. Like, you've got to deal with it and decide what you're going to do next. But I just think, just the awareness of, you can kind of tell. Like, I've always been someone that I can tell straight away whether a coach likes me, a gaffer likes me, or what way something's going to go just by your body language. So I knew from early, like, I'm not going to be here. But at the same time, I'm 18 years old. I've not played any first team games, so I don't really have I can't go to someone and go, you need to sign me because like I'm a no one at this point. So it's like I've got to try and navigate what I'm going to do next. And going through the experiences that I've been through, it's like I don't really want to go and play 23s. Because anyone I'm playing with that's at my age group are probably developmentally, physically behind me. So I can't really play in those style games. I need to go out and play men's football. So that was kind of the next step.
Was that how, obviously the next stage of your career was Rochdale to Stockport?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that transition for you though?
Good.
Was
I
that
enjoyed
into the men's football, I'm guessing?
Yeah. So that summer, Steve had a gaffer that had me in the first team, took me on pre-season. He'd gone to Huddersfield 23s. So he phoned me and I was meant to go there. But Rochdale messed up on purpose with the facts of I was still under contract. I needed to play in a trial game before they could sign me for whatever reason. So he's like, the game's on Friday. This is like the preceding Saturday. So Rochdale have got to give me permission to play in this game. Sends through the email, the fax, whatever. Rochdale like, right, we'll get back to you. Gets to me on the Thursday, he's like, they've not got back to us, you can't play yet. So then nothing goes through, comes to the Monday after the game, and Rochdale hand me a letter, yeah, you can play. So the game was 3 days ago. Like, so that was out the window. Then I had an option to go on trial at Notts County, who were League 2 at the time, a scholarship offer in America, and a trial at Stockport. So they're my 3 options. So it's like, I'd just been away from home for 2 years in digs. Obviously, it's not that far because it's in Rochdale, but I was like, I want to go back home now. I'll go to Stockport, it's up the road. Went there in the conference and they put me in a 6-week trial. I think it was 2 weeks and he signed me. So then they signed me on the basis of, right, you're a first year pro, on a first year pro wage plus appearances. We don't really expect you to play more than 5-10 games. You're a backup. That year I ended up playing 46 games, I think, for the first time.
And they thought you were a backup. Right, yeah.
So I think I'd broken into... I played the first game, I come off the bench, the first game right back to kind of... He just wanted me to go and steady it up for 5-10 minutes, but experience a bit of the physicality just to see how I handled it.
Yeah.
Then after that, I was on the bench the next couple of games. The team was doing well. Then we went to Telford away. I think it was like the 4th or 5th game. And he wasn't having the right back at the time, the gaffer, having a bit of an argument. So this is the Friday before we travel. So we're doing shape and that, saying, nah, not good enough. Then we had another right back that was my age, first year pro. He's like a specialist right back. So he was meant to be starting. So I thought, right, he's starting, I'm on the bench. So I'm on the coach on the way there and I sleep on the coach. So I'm asleep, someone wakes me up. Gaffer wants to speak to her. So I said, all right, cool. Yeah, you're going to start at right back. So I'm thinking,
Right.
like, there's like half an hour till we get there.
Yeah.
But luckily for me, it worked out well because I didn't really have time to get nervous. It was just like, right, I got to be on job. Like, so then he goes, this is what I want from you. Obviously, keep us steady, do this, do that, whatever. I think we drew the game 2-2, and then I was in the team from there. Didn't drop back out of the team.
No, that's sick.
You answered the question I was going to ask, the nerves side of things. Obviously, making your first team debut at Stockport, how did you manage the nerves like? Because that's some...
Probably because he was keeping before.
Plenty
My man was resting.
You know what? It's...
Because nerves can break people in games. You sense a nervous player from a mile away.
I'm always like, even not as much now, but to a certain extent, before the game, there's always like an element of nerves, or it's like nerves are to the point where you're like a bit apprehensive, or you're wondering how the game's gonna go. As you get older, you deal with it a little bit better, or your preparation changes around that. But I've always been a player, once I'm on the pitch and the ball's kicked, I'm so focused on doing my job and communicating with others, I don't really notice what's going on. Then maybe at half-time I might be like, oh, it's a big atmosphere or whatever. But
also, you don't hear the crowd at all when you're playing?
Not really, no. During the game, unless the ball goes out of play and I take a second to be like,
Right.
yeah. Otherwise, I'm so locked in most of the time that it's like, as I've got older, obviously, and you drop down the levels, it's a little bit less where you can have, like, you can notice more things in the crowd because you're able to take more stuff on, like information, because some stuff's become autopilot. But at first, it's like you're so focused on making sure you're doing what you've been asked in your position and doing something else. There's not really any space for nerves. It's like you just got to be on job.
Makes sense. So obviously from Stockport, did you do was it 2 times a week you train, or was it full-time thing?
No, we were full-time that first year. We were full-time. We're in the Conference Prem, which is National League now.
Okay.
Then same sort of thing happened. Manager come to December, January, and I'd played like 25 games. So he said, you're pretty much the lowest paid player with the highest appearances. It's not right. We're going to give you a new deal. Agreed this new deal, 2-year on decent money. Like the terms of it. So then this was the Friday. Due to sign it on the Monday. Obviously, we got a game on the Saturday. Play on the Saturday, lose. And he goes on an interview. It's like, right, what are you going to be doing in the January window? Who are you bringing in? This guy goes off on this 10-minute interview of like, chairman's giving me no dough. This wrong with the club. Got home. By the time I got home, I didn't drive these times. So it's like, got the bus home.
Yeah.
By the time I got home, I had a message. Gaffer's been sacked.
No.
I'm thinking, right, Gaffer's been sacked.
So then what's
All right,
happened
cool.
to the deal?
Coming on Monday, I'm 19 at this point, just turned 19, so I still don't really know a lot about football. So I'm like, oh, that's cool, I'm going to sign my deal. I go in, I'm like, to the chairman, what's happening with this deal? Like, he's like, yeah, that deal's gone. Like, we don't know who's coming in, gaffer. So I'm thinking, yeah, this is long. So then got in a Dutch gaffer from the Dutch Prem.
Yeah.
Sick coach, unbelievable coach. Probably one of the best coaches I've had in terms of the football they had us playing. Spoke very little English, had no idea about non-league players. So the club was signing players for him and he was just kind of coaching us.
Yeah.
That first day, 20 new players in. He's taking a register, like Jordan Fagbola, yeah, position, centre back. I'm thinking, yeah, you don't even know where anyone plays. So he's just like brand new going through the session. It was almost like a trial. So we're playing 11v11s. He's deciding, right, he's good. This is going to be my starting lineup, whatever. He lasted 2 months. Then he was gone. Got in another guy.
2 months and he's like,
yeah, he was
a
gone.
tactician, or like you're saying, like he was
Sick, honestly.
So why did he only last like 2 months?
He just couldn't handle it. He didn't have enough control, didn't
Yeah.
know what players to sign, and it just didn't work out.
Wow.
But then we got in another guy that was from Newcastle, Ian Bogie. He used to play. He was a good coach, but he just didn't have enough time to save us, ended up getting relegated. So then when they went into the Conference North, it went to part-time Tuesday, Thursdays.
Fairs. So do you know when you're playing a game on the Saturday or the Sunday, whatever day it would be, do you analyse the player you'll be up against coming the weekend? At that age anyway.
They used to give us stuff. It was a bit limited. You get more stuff now because obviously you've got like VO, Y Scout, whatever it is. It's more accessible to see the highlights. Back then, you're talking like 2012, 2013, that stuff was just coming in. So it's either someone's gone to watch the game and they've written a report which is debatable on who's watched it and what they've actually been looking for. A lot of the time I used to just feel them out in the first couple of minutes of like, right, he looks fast or he looks like he's going to play this sort of way. He's definitely left-footed. This is what he likes to do, and you've got to kind of figure it out on the fly. Whereas now, you can go into a game, you know everything about it. If I'm playing against you, I know he's got a long throw. He likes to do this. He can play both sides. These are his strengths. These are his weaknesses. You can prepare for it. Whereas back then, it was a little bit less. At that level anyway, obviously at the higher levels, you would have had that. But it's like, right, you've got to kind of figure this out on the fly. But the manager had enough information because obviously they've been around the levels for a certain amount of time where it's like, I know what the other manager's style is, so this is how we're going to kind of combat it. So you had to lean on the managers a lot more, whereas now there's a lot more you can go and look at yourself.
Yeah. No, for
Fairs.
sure, defo.
I get you.
No,
So
I agree with
from you can ask something.
No, go on.
Do you know, like, obviously when you're 18, 19, coming up in the football thing, we all have this kind of delusion, I say naivety, that we're going to make it pro. When did it click for you that maybe professional football wasn't going to happen and I need a plan B now? Cause
I started my degree that next year. So when we went part-time, so I was 19, we went part-time and I was like, it's not necessarily that I thought I might not get back into the program. It's just like I've got so much time on my hands now of like, I'm only training twice a week for a couple of hours in the evening.
you've got to do something.
I've got the whole week to do something, so I can either go and get a job or I can study because I'm still 19. I've not got many overheads. I thought I'll go and study. PFA were doing a course, so I went and did sports science for 4 years, and then I finished that.
But was that Were you at Solihull at them times there, or was that like later on?
I went Solihull later on. So from Stockport, I went to Colwyn Bay. So I had another 2 years at Stockport.
Okay.
Where the second year was okay. Naively, like me being 19, I thought, yeah, we're going to bounce straight back up, get promoted. Didn't work that way. The club was in turmoil, which I only know now. Being older and knowing more about football, I can look back and think, yeah, the club was rotten. But at the time, you don't know. So probably played 25, 30 games the second year. Was in and out a little bit more. Then the third year, did my hamstring the last game of pre-season, missed like 3 months. Come back, did the other one. Come back.
Can't catch a break.
Can't catch a break.
Just didn't. That was also a bad year where I was like, that was a year when I was like 20 and 21, and I was like, I just didn't have it in my legs that year. Body just wouldn't hold up. Come to the summer, and obviously they had a new manager in. Same type of thing. I knew like they're gonna release me. Like I'm gonna have to go somewhere. Got released, and I went to Colwyn Bay. So it was like same league, the league below. So Evo Stick Prem, the one that we're playing in now. But it's like I just need to go and get games. Like I need to go and get games, get the games in my legs, and trust my body again. So I went there and played just under 50 games, somewhere probably like 46, 47 games. It's like
good year then, 50.
Good experience of the team was awful. Got battered, but it's like so the team was bad. That's probably the worst team that I've played in my career. But it's like you just got to learn how to still be accountable in that team and like still keep your standards at a certain level. So that is probably one of the most important years of my career, but it's the worst by far.
And then back and you learned a lot from that.
Yeah. Learned loads. That's probably where this version that I am now
stems from.
Started from that year of
And
like more vocal and that type of stuff.
So then the following year you went Solihull, innit?
Yeah, I went Solihull in the summer.
And that's when you bought like Curtis and that?
Yeah.
I've heard a couple stories about man. You cracked me, but you know what I said to God. Oh my God, go and touch on Solihull now.
Yeah, so Solihull, to be fair, I come off the back of that season at Colwyn Bay and the team got relegated. Awful. And I was thinking, I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm going to do this year because I've got a decent name for myself. Probably played closing in on 150, 200 games at 21. So it's like...
Smashed it.
I'm well experienced for my age.
Wait, 21 how many games?
150, something like that.
Bloody
so it's
hell,
like...
mileage.
I was like, right, I'm at this level of experience, but the teams that I've been in have been poor. So I'm not going to go to a team that's winning straight away. It's probably not going to happen. So I didn't really know what I was going to do that summer. I just kind of went into it of like, I'm just going to train, see what comes up. I got this phone call from another agent, John Grant. So he says to me, I used to watch you play at Stockport, blah, blah, what you doing? I said, nothing. He said, my mate is the gaffer at Solihull. Like, he's interested. Solihull.
Where's that?
That's tracks, bro. Now, I've played there before, thinking that's far, bro. Like, that's a long sleep on the coach. That's a good kip. So, speaks to me anyway. I'm like, right, I'll go down. I'll go down and meet him. So, go down and meet him. Marcus Bignot's the gaffer. Small guy, mixed race. Used to play QPR, decent level. So, he's telling me stuff about me in the interview. So, well, in the talk, he's like, yeah, you made your debut here. Then you did this. I'm thinking, this guy knows stuff about me that I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, nah, he's on me. Like, I want to sign it because he's done his research. So, signed there. That was our first year going up into the conference. So, first year going into the national. Played every game under him. He left in December. He got moved to Grimsby because the team was flying. But I'd played right of a back three, right of a back four, centre half of a back four, right of a back five, so like right wing back, left wing back, left centre half of a back three. I played everywhere in a back 3, 4 and 5 in 26 games for him. But that was just trust that he had in me because he was a proper tactician as well. Like a bit like TY, but slightly different with the detail that he went into. But he's like, if this happens, you need to be here. And like, this ball can't go between this gap, otherwise this happens. Or like certain rules on the pitch. So we played a game, might have been Bromley, and he's like, we're playing 4-3-3. You're playing right back. All right, sweet. But we're playing 2 9s on a left winger. I said, wait, so I'm playing right back and I got no one in front of me. Yeah. What am I meant to do when they both come? You'll be all right. We'll drop a midfielder.
No way.
Thinking, yeah.
So is it just lopsided?
Just lopsided. There's
No
2
way.
9s on a left winger, no right winger.
No, mad.
Worked, won the game.
Swear down.
Yeah. But these times I was 23, so I was lighter than I am now. I was probably like 93, 94 kilos. I had an engine. I could go up and down.
93 kilo when he's an engine.
Like, now, well, that you got to imagine at 16 I was 87 kilos, so that's not heavy for me.
Nah,
that's
no.
just like another 6 kilos on over 5-6 years. It's not a lot.
Yeah,
so
That's scary, that for a winger.
Scary, bro, man.
For a winger to
like
score
I
off against that.
it could be
long.
boom, boom. Whereas now, like with injury, bit more size, and just the way that the game's gone, I couldn't do that role now. Like I'm not physically, I've changed, but that was probably one of the funnest times of my life, of my career, Solihull. So then, come to December, he gets his move to Grimsby. Then another gaffer comes in, local guy, knows all the players, Birmingham guy, proper Brum guy. So he brings in all his players from step 3 and 4. Obviously, we're step 1, National League. So it's like, I know he wants to replace me. Same type of thing. You get that vibe straight away.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
come in, he wants to put his mark on the team. I'm the only person that's played every minute so far this season. I'm the first one that he takes out. But then we had Luton away in the FA Cup a week after. Couldn't play his boys because the cup tied. So he's got to play me. Play. I think we're 2-0 up. We end up losing 5-2. So drops me back out again. Then we played Chester, Boxing Day, New Year's Day reverse. So it's like, we played on Boxing Day at Solihull. You're in, right back. Don't want you to go forward, just defend. We got a clean sheet. I think we won 1-0. Got a clean sheet anyway. Go New Year's Day to Chester. Assistant pulls me. Jordan, I've been arguing with him all the way down. Yeah, you're not going to be playing.
Even though you played well the
Listen,
previous
what
game.
do you mean I'm not going to be playing? He asked me to get a clean sheet.
Got it.
Got a clean sheet. He didn't ask me for anything else. Like, so he goes, that's what he said. So at that point I said, right, I was on non-contract. I'm leaving. I knew that. So me and Kurt, we were going down. We played. There was a reserve game, I think, on the Tuesday. So it's like, we got to go and play this game to get our last wage, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
Driving down M6, full of traffic. As soon as we get to the windmill, full of traffic. Bell him. Yeah, we're going to be late. It's all right, just get here when you can. So we were like, no, we're not rushing. Like, me and Kurt pull up to the services. So it's like, yeah, I need to go to the toilet. Kurt's like, yeah, we just get a drink. We sat there for like 25 minutes. Kurt goes in, he goes, yeah, I'm just going to get a drink. I said, nah, you know what, I need a drink as well, so go. He's like, I'm not going to drive. I need to drink this first before I drive. So finishes his drink, he's taking his time. We get there 5 minutes before kickoff. He goes, yeah, is the ball still starting? Eh? No warm-up? Nah, just get changed.
No.
So play the game. Ball comes over the top. Or like a cross comes in. I've gone to jump. I just didn't leave the floor. I'm thinking like, what's going on here? Everyone's looking at me like, why didn't you just head it away? I'm saying like, I tried to get off the floor. Like, I don't know. I'd done the nerve in my back. I couldn't contract my calf. So it's like, you've got this nerve in your back that's trapped, and it's just stopping you from kind of controlling the bottom of your leg.
No way.
So I was like, shit. So I wanted to leave before the game, but then I was like, I need to kind of stay, keep my wages, because I can't go somewhere else, I can't play. He releases me anyway, so I was like, shit, I got to go somewhere else. Go to FC United, so someone's give me a number. FC are looking for centre-back. All right, cool, I can go. This is like 2 weeks later. It's a bit better, but it's not 100%. So he's like, can you play? I said, well, I need the dough. I need to kind of be at a team. So I was like, yeah, I can play. So we go and play Salford at home the year when they got promoted from Conference North to the Conference. To be fair, I was basically playing on one leg. I couldn't move this leg properly. I played all right. We lost, I think, 2-0. But I was like, I've done all right there. After the game, I was finished. Like, the leg was done. So I spoke to the physio, said, look, this is the issue that I've got, blah, blah. I was out for 8 weeks, I think. So then come back, and I think there was 7 games left of the season. played all 7, did well. So then they offered me a new deal the next year at FC. I ended up staying there.
No, that's mad. Because, was that due to you not warming up? Do you think that's why?
Probably, I think, looking back now, knowing what I know, is probably the travelling. Because I was driving from here to Solihull, it's like an hour 40. I was doing that 3 times a week, there and back. So the impact of me being in the same position and like the road, it just didn't work well for my back.
Bloody hell. Nah, man. Gotta keep it local now, innit?
Promise you, especially with the little one.
Yeah,
no chance.
Little one now.
The money's not in it anyway. For you to travel, like now, all those teams where they're gonna pay you the money to travel the full time anyway. So you'd be moving, or they'd be putting you up in digs for the week and then you go home, something like that. But yeah.
No, obviously that's sick. But from the move from FC, I'm guessing you went to Hyde from there.
Yeah, so I did that first year at FC, which was like a half year. Then I did the next season there, and then same type of thing. It was like the gaffer left, they pulled the budget, and then one of the players got the job. So then we finished the season, kept them up, which was the goal. Played well. I played like 40 odd games. He comes to the talk and he's like, yeah, this is what I can offer you. I said, what he offered me, I won't even say what he offered me, what I said. I'd rather you just release me. Like, it's not even worth my time and my petrol. What you've offered me, I'd basically be paying you to play. Like, it makes no sense.
Oh, no.
So I said, all right, cool. I'll go somewhere else. So then, I didn't know where I was going, but I didn't really want to go to Hyde at the time. He was the first person to phone me, Darren Kelly at Hyde. I was like, I don't really want to go here. I don't really want to drop the level again, but it's an option. Didn't really have much of a coming in, so I was like, I'll go here for the year, hopefully play well, go back up. That was my plan. Went there, to be fair, it's probably the best move I made in football. That was the club that I found the most was like home for me. Like that's my club. And then I was there for 5 years, as you know.
No, that's because through this year, through what I'm hearing, it's like you try and make a break, like you're trying to break through, then you do well, next manager comes in, tries to F you off on that, then you go somewhere else, a repetitive thing. My man's just getting used and then dash when the next manager comes in.
Know what it is? It's like there's certain types of players in it. You all know, we've all played the game. There's like players that they're gonna get to clubs that they probably shouldn't get to because of the relationships that they have with the managers and that type of thing, and the type of people that they are. I'm like, these have all played with me. It's like when I'm at football, I'm sociable, but when I leave, I'm at home. Like I'm not trying to be anyone's friend. I'm just if you need me, you can phone me. Like you know, I'm always there, but I'm just at home. I come here, I do my job, I do what I need to do, and I go. Whereas everyone else is a bit more social. So it's like people have always looked at me of a little bit separate. So if there's an opportunity to be like, someone's got to go. You're gonna pick the person that's like a little bit this way. Let me get rid of him.
It's because you got the balance. That's what it is.
It is what it is, isn't it? Like, I know who I am, and like I'm happy with the decisions that I've made. So if it went a different way, and I had to be someone else to do something, I'm like, I'd rather be myself and like just enjoy it that way.
No, I hear it. It makes sense because that's when I get to meet him eventually down the line.
Literally.
That's when I met you, though, the first year at Hyde. Yeah, that's
was that your first year?
Guys. Yeah.
Because I think that was your first year, but I remember when I was with the youth team at Hyde, obviously me, Paddy, and Dapo, Alex, etc. You were known as like Mr. Hyde. You were the big guy there, innit? Jordan, that centre back. Watch him play. He's the big man. So obviously when I first came up, and I seen obviously from youth team to first team with Hyde, the difference in training was crazy.
Yeah.
I remember training with you for the first time. You told me the knowledge and the information I'm giving you isn't what you need to hear. So I'm saying man on. You're like, yo, tell me what side, man on your right, man on your left. But I don't think about that as a youth team player because that's you're talking, well done.
Yeah.
But first team, it's like, yo, the information is key. And that's what you taught me, and you would have taught loads of other people. But leading us into integrating us with the team, that's what you've done well. How does that even... Was that natural for you just to integrate all the youngsters into the team? Because no one else seemed to do it when you were there. It was just
think
you.
So. I always think like, what would I have liked like, what was I missing as a 16, 17, 18-year-old coming through? Like, and to be fair, I did have it. When I went through at Rochdale and went to the first team, there was a guy, Brian Barry Murphy, he's the 21s coach at City now, Irish guy. He used to play centre mid. And I was on his boots at the time, so I was his boot boy, so I already knew him. But obviously you go into the session and you're a bit nervous. And he was like, come with me. Like, today, you're with me. Like, I'll help you to explain. I'll help explain things to you. Like, and just put that arm around me and made me feel comfortable. So I've always thought, once I'm at that stage of my career, that's something that I want to do, because it's something that I've always remembered, and be like, you just want people to feel comfortable. There's no reason to have any type of animosity towards anyone, because like, we're all on the same team, regardless, even if you're in my position. Like, obviously we're competing, but I want to compete against the best version of you. Like, if you deserve to go and have that spot, go and have it. I'm not going to hold you back and say, nah, I want to play, so I'm not going to help him.
Just got to push each
whatever.
other.
Yeah, everyone kind of developed each other. So it's always been something that's been more natural to me from that day of like, let's just bring everyone in and kind of make that team environment and help. But like you're saying with the communication, I think even at first team level, it's something that's misunderstood of, you get a load of people that are like, come on lads, no, this isn't good enough. It was like, oh, doesn't he talk loads into your leader? Doesn't mean anything. Like,
it's information.
If someone's saying to me, like if I'm saying to a centre mid, he's on your left shoulder, yard away, check, there he is, right, take this, move this way, do that. It means more to than me saying, come on lads, we need to do better. But the come on lads, we need to do better guy gets looked at as, he's the leader of the team. You don't have to be that. It just has to be subtle things of, come here, step there, do this, he's going to try and do this is how you need to do it. And that's the way I prefer to lead, rather than screaming, shouting and all that stuff. I prefer to just take you aside and say, you know what, that situation, you should have done this. Or this will be better for you. And do it that way.
And I know where that's come from. That's pure LeBron, that, That's pure LeBron, that. Do you know why? Because even he picks out plays before the play's even been made. Do you know what I mean? And he's the type of guy that would be like, you're always going to do a little sausage roll, little Greg's thing. He's going on your left shoulder and he's going to cross it with his right foot. You stand there, you prevent him from doing that. He'll come back inside and the DM's mopping that up. Do you get what I'm trying to say? One of them guys, bro, just up here, bro. He's just got it all up here. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not even like he's just talking to like defenders and that. Because he would talk to people like, if you're a back to front striker, he knows about physical contact because he's a centre half, and he's saying, hard thing, I don't want him to do this, and it's just one of those things that like you help adapt like loads of people's games, and it's a common thing that I've heard from players that have been around yourself, like myself as well. Like, you've helped me, you've helped Thierry, and that you've helped numerous people. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But
I think it's something that I enjoy, to be fair, because I've always I like performance. Like, I like to see the best performance. So if I can help you to develop your game or you to develop your game, it's like to watch it, like to see how people are developing. That's why I'm in the job that I'm in and the role that I'm in. But also, I like to train against people that are going to test me. Otherwise, it's boring. I don't want to train against something that I know is not competitive, because I'll just switch off. And then once I've checked out, that side of me is gone. So then it's not helping anyone else, because I'm not doing that development, because like, I'm coming to training for what? Like, I don't really have to do this. Or I'd rather come to training, I think, you know what, I've got to be on it today, because if I'm not, he's going to embarrass me. He's going to make me look stupid.
No, of course.
So I've got to actually train well. And then it just pushes the standards of everything else.
Literally. So obviously what you just touched on there a second ago, off the pitch, you do nutrition.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
How did you get into that? How does that affect your lifestyle?
So I finished the degree, like I mentioned did the sports science degree, finished that. And I was like, right, I want to specialise in something. So my choices were strength and conditioning or nutrition. I was like, I've been training a long time. I know a decent amount about strength and conditioning without going and doing the degree. Nutrition, I'm not that clued up on. Selfishly, I want to know more for my own career, because at this point I was 24. That first year I come to, I had 24, 25. So I was like, I want to know for myself, but then also it's giving me a specialism that I can go into this as a role at some point. Did my master's in that, finished it, and then that was 2019. I finished it September. Obviously, pandemic happened like 4 or 5 months later. So everyone sat at home. I was like, may as well put this to use. Started up the business, like small scale. And as I progressed, it was something that it kind of took off, where I worked in the gym for a bit, that happened, and then left there, started doing my own thing, where working with primarily footballers, some other sports, and then some everyday people that are just doing marathons or they just want to lose a bit of weight. But the majority of it is football, is helping them perform better, because that's where I got the passion for it. So it's like, I can help you on the pitch if I'm playing with you and I know, like, I'm playing next to you, this is a part of your game that can improve. I'm playing in front of you, this is a part of the game that can improve. Nutrition-wise, I can help way more people. It's like,
broader aspect of
this
people.
is what you're doing. This is what you need to be doing. This is how we're going to do it. I'm going to coach you to do it. And then seeing the performance that way, just brings joy, man.
No, I can imagine, because like, now he's asking me, yo, dash me this guy's number. He needs to shout me. Tell you, boy, he's got to shout me, man. He needs to get a bit more muscle on him.
Honestly, I think it's something that I wish I'd known earlier in my career. Something that I didn't have access to. So coming through at Rochdale, where the resources are limited, it's like, we didn't have a nutritionist. We didn't have this. We didn't have that. I'm not saying that I would have gone and done something else, but for me to know earlier, you can get the maximum out of yourself, where there's a part of me that's like, some of that in my earlier, like, developmental years wasn't there. So I've missed probably 4 or 5 years of doing this properly, and how would it have looked compared to how it looks now. So
it's one of the things, like, people that are watching, man, need to be clued up on these things, you know what I mean? You can't be eating that yam dumpling and all that, staying heavy and all that.
Do you know what as well? It's like, there's more out there now, so it's more accessible. But what comes with that is there's more people that are giving the wrong information. So now, rather than having no information, you got to decipher whether it's the right information or not. So it's just a different problem to the same thing.
Got to snatch up this opportunity. I know a couple of the men are going to be watching this and they play football.
Yeah, tell them to shout.
You need to take this opportunity, grasp it, man, because look at, like, people that are top athletes and that, they spend on just, like, looking after themselves off the pitch. Do you know what I mean?
Serious,
like, people like your stars that you look at, Ronaldo's, your top athletes, they do a lot more away from it and things that you don't see. So when they're on the field, they're doing the most.
That's why people are playing longer now, innit? Whereas back in the day, when you got touch 30, you're finished now, innit?
Yeah, like LeBron's trying to see his son play. He's trying to play with his son, innit?
It's crazy. He's gonna touch 40 at the end of the year, innit? So
crazy.
Still playing at a top level. Obviously, there's a bit of luck to go into it. He's done everything right to probably earn that luck. Whereas if he's not done everything right, it's probably a point where something happens and it goes the other way, and it's like, right, he's injured now for however long and his career's done.
Because I heard he wants to go Golden State with Curry and his son. That'd be a mad thing, you know.
Nah, he's not leaving him.
He's not leaving
Lakers. Nah, too much money there for him.
I've got another thing for you. Have you ever thought doing management at any time? Or?
Everyone asks me this. I must be getting old, because everyone keeps asking me, would you go into management?
Yeah.
You know what? If you would have asked me 3-4 years ago, no.
Yeah.
And still no. But the role that I see myself going into, I don't see it existing at the minute. It exists in the NFL. It exists in some other sports, but it don't exist in football that I know of. In terms of, I'd purely want to work with the defensive structure of the team. So obviously in the NFL, you got your offensive and your defensive. Where it's like, I'd want to be the defensive coach for the team, rather than me being like, I want to manage the whole team. It's a bit much, and the level that I'd be doing it at, the resources, it's a lot of stress. I'd rather go in and say, right, I'm going to be back four midfield coach in defensive transition, defensive set pieces, and something else, and do it that way, because that's where my speciality is and my knowledge is. Like, going forward, I can do it to a certain point, but it's like, I'll get you up to here, creative players take over. Do your thing up there. I'm not going to be telling my winger, you need to do this, then chop him this way. I've not done it. I don't know.
You tell him when to track back, though.
Oh yeah, I tell him. Once you
can't stay there. Can't stay there.
Once you've done that, you've lost it. You know where you need to be.
Do you know what I mean? But that's the thing. Like, I feel like slowly, we are transitioning that way, though. I feel like we're getting more people around certain aspects of the game now.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? So
it's got to be, the game's too complicated.
Yeah,
you can't have, apart from when you look at Pep, but you got to look at like what's happened to Klopp now. I'm burnt out. Like, obviously, like, you're trying to coach this team that plays 60 games a year, all aspects of it.
Yeah,
you can't.
It's a lot.
You need someone to break it down for you and say, right, our philosophy is the same. You're the manager. I'm the defensive manager. philosophies on the same page.
Yeah.
Let me handle the defensive side. You handle the rest.
Yeah.
And then it'll work better. Take some stress off of you. Take some stress off me. I've not got to go and be a manager. And then you can just kind of combine knowledge. Get two heads.
No,
I see that coming into football soon, though. I do see that role coming in soon.
It's hard because it's not in the NFL. It's setting it of like, right, the defense is on, or the offense is on. In football, the transitions are so quick that it's not a set thing. That's why you got set piece coaches, because it's set. But transition coach, you can see why it doesn't exist yet, but it will go that way.
No, it'll definitely go that way.
It has to. The amount of games that they're playing.
Yeah, man.
The amount of games people are playing, the amount of leagues are being created, or this, what's the Champions League format and all that. Like, and then you got clubs like Spurs and Newcastle playing friendlies after the season.
Yeah, it's insane. Trippier injured.
It's like, there's too
You
many
don't want
games.
to play FA Cup replays, but you can go to Australia
And play
get
for it.
injured after the season.
Yeah, mad.
So now the lower league clubs won't get any dough from the replays, but some Australian companies got dough because you went over there.
Went over there and played.
And now he's probably not going to the Euros because he's injured.
It's mad because they're just shafting like smaller clubs.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy.
They want to keep the wealth to themselves, don't it?
Nah.
Yeah, they wanted to scrap that 3 p.m. kickoff ban, when the blackout, when they don't show no games on TV. They wanted to scrap that, but then obviously that got overruled because that's how people get money, innit? That's how Hyde and all them clubs get the money by fans going there. If the game is televised, people will stay at home watch the game.
Yeah, it's true.
But nah, that was
That's a madness.
a mad one. Your knowledge is insane.
Nah,
Bro,
crazy.
appreciate
There must be a
it,
part 2 anyway. There must be a part 2.
Yeah. Bring me on whenever, man.
I know. There's more. There's more in there.
I got plenty of stories.
Yeah, of course.
Some can't go on the podcast.
Nah, go on. Take us out.
Thank you. We're back again very, very soon with another show for you, another guest. The panel are back. Episode dropping again in another, let's say, 2-3 weeks. A special one. But yeah, peace.
No, peace, guys. Yeah, man. Safe.